The rain was falling hard. Thunder cracked the sky like it was angry, and wind howled through the trees like it was crying for someone. Inside a small house with faded paint and broken windows, a storm far worse was happening. "Get out of this house," Mama screamed, pointing a shaking finger at Esther. Esther stood in the middle of the living room, her old dress clinging to her thin body. Her eyes were full of tears, but her face stayed calm. "I didn't do anything," she whispered. "Liar," her older brother shouted. "Ever since you came back from that church camp, strange things have been happening. The baby got sick after you touched him," her aunt added, backing away like Esther had a disease. "You see things before they happen. You talk in your sleep. This is not normal." "She's possessed," someone shouted. Esther felt the word hit her like a slap. Possessed. They'd called her many names before: strange, quiet, weird. But never that. She tried to speak, to explain, to tell them what she felt in her heart. But her father stepped forward, holding a Bible in one hand and a belt in the other. "If you don't leave this house now, I will beat the demon out of you." And that was it. No hug, no goodbye, no warm clothes or food. Just the door slamming behind her as the storm swallowed her whole. Esther walked all night. Her slippers broke before sunrise, so she went barefoot. The ground was cold and muddy, cutting into her skin. People stared. Some gave her dirty looks. Some crossed the street to avoid her. She didn't blame them. Her hair was messy. Her dress was wet and torn. Her eyes were swollen from crying. She looked like a ghost. But even worse, she felt like one. By morning, she found a quiet spot behind an old market stall. She curled up near some empty crates, her arms hugging her knees. She hadn't eaten in 2 days. Her stomach growled, but she was too tired to care. That's when she heard the whisper, "You don't belong here." Esther sat up fast. Who said that? No one answered. She looked around. The place was empty. Was she imagining things? She closed her eyes. Ever since she was a child, she heard things, felt things, like a soft voice inside her warning her before something happened. Sometimes it helped people. Like the time she told Mama not to let her baby cousin drink from the well. 3 days later, the water was poisoned. But instead of thanking her, they feared her. She wasn't normal. That's what everyone said. So maybe they were right. Maybe she really was cursed. On the 3rd day, Esther met someone. She was sitting by a closed pharmacy, her head resting against the cold wall, when a shadow fell over her. Hungry, she looked up. It was an old man with a scar running across his face. He held out a meat pie and a sachet of water. Esther stared at him. "Take it," he said. "I don't bite." She took the food slowly, unsure if she could trust him. "Thank you," she whispered. He sat beside her. For a while, they didn't speak. Then he asked, "Why are you out here?" "My family chased me away," she replied, chewing slowly. "Why?" "They think I'm possessed." He looked at her. His eyes were kind, but sad. "Do you believe them?" Esther shook her head. "No. But sometimes, I wonder." The man chuckled. "People fear what they don't understand. They'd rather label you demon than admit you're special." Esther looked at him. "You think I'm special?" He nodded. "You just haven't discovered how much yet." Then he stood, dusted off his trousers, and walked away. She never saw him again. But those words stayed with her. That night, Esther had a dream. She was standing in a white room. A woman sat in a wheelchair, her face pale, eyes empty. A man stood beside her, pushing the chair, his face full of sadness. Suddenly, Esther walked toward the woman and touched her hand. A warm light filled the room, and the woman stood up, smiling, her legs strong again. The man fell to his knees in tears. Then everything turned black. She woke up, sweating. "What kind of dream is this?" she whispered to herself. The next morning, Esther walked with no direction. Her feet hurt, her body ached, but something inside her told her to keep going. She followed the feeling. Around noon, she reached a place she'd never been, G-Life Hospital. It was clean, with tall white buildings, big cars, and people in fancy clothes. She felt out of place immediately, but her feet didn't stop moving. She walked slowly past the gate, trying not to be noticed when she saw him. He looked exactly like the man in her dream, tall, handsome, and sad. He was pushing a wheelchair, and in it sat the same woman from her dream, his mother, lifeless and paralyzed. Esther froze. Her heart started beating fast. Her stomach turned. Was this real? She stepped closer. A guard near the entrance shouted, "Hey, you! Move away from here!" Esther didn't hear him. All she could see was the woman who needed her, the woman she had already healed in a dream. Was it possible? Could this be her purpose? Her chance? The guard shouted again, this time walking toward her. I said move, but just before he could grab her, the woman in the wheelchair turned her head slightly and locked eyes with Esther. Her lips parted. A single word came out. Come. The sun was hot the next day, but Esther felt cold. She sat alone on the edge of the sidewalk across from G-Life Hospital, her back pressed against the wall of a small kiosk. Her eyes were still fixed on the glass doors of the hospital. The moment from yesterday replayed in her mind over and over again. The man, the woman in the wheelchair, and those strange words. Come. But no one else heard it. Not the guards. Not the nurses. Not even the man pushing the wheelchair. Only her. Esther tried to sleep last night, but her eyes refused to close. Her stomach growled from hunger, her bones ached from lying on hard concrete, and her mind raced with questions. She pulled her knees to her chest and hugged them tightly. A soft breeze blew dust across her legs, but she didn't move. She didn't care anymore. She had nothing left to protect, not even her pride. That night, Lagos was loud. Cars honked. Generators buzzed. Drunks shouted. Somewhere nearby, a mother was scolding her child. But even in all that noise, Esther felt completely alone. She shifted on the pavement, trying to get comfortable, using a piece of cardboard as a mat. The stone underneath was hard and uneven. Her back hurt, her feet were blistered, and her body smelled of sweat and dust. She thought about her old bed at home, her soft blanket, her little radio, the smell of Mama's cooking in the evening. Then she remembered the way Mama had shouted at her, eyes full of fear, heart full of judgment. Esther bit her lip hard, but the tears still came. They rolled down her cheeks, silent and warm. She must have drifted off at some point because she had another dream. This time, she saw herself inside the hospital. The hallways were glowing white. A group of doctors surrounded her, their mouths moving but making no sound. She looked down and saw her hands shining with light. Her palms burned, but not with pain, with power. Suddenly, a voice echoed inside the dream. You were born for this. She jolted awake, heart racing. Sweat covered her face. Her hands were cold. Born for what? She whispered. The streets were still dark, but her chest felt full of fire. Just before sunrise, the scarred old man returned. The same one who had given her food days ago. He didn't speak at first. He just sat beside her on the curb and handed her a small loaf of bread and water again. You've been sitting here for 2 days, he finally said. Esther nodded. You saw something, didn't you? He asked. She turned to him slowly. Yes. A woman in a wheelchair. He smiled softly. I saw them too. Rich people. The woman couldn't walk. That was his mother. Esther whispered, I saw her healed in a dream. The man's eyes narrowed with interest. You're one of them, he said. One of who? The chosen. The ones heaven speaks to. Esther laughed, but there was no joy in it. If heaven speaks to me, why would it let me suffer like this? The man didn't answer. He just stood up. Sometimes pain is the path. Fire purifies gold, and suffering prepares the healer. He turned and walked away again, just like last time. Esther stared after him. The next day was longer than the last. Esther watched cars go in and out of the hospital. Big black Jeeps. Flashy cars with tinted windows. Drivers in suits. Women in fancy clothes. No one looked at her. No one asked if she was okay. But she waited and waited. Her belly groaned again. The last bite of bread was long gone.
Her throat was dry.
Her vision blurred a little, but she didn't move. She waited for him. The man with the sad eyes. The one from the dream. Then, just before sunset, she saw him. Walking out of the hospital. Alone. No wheelchair. No mother. Esther stood up quickly. She opened her mouth to call out, but nothing came out. He walked toward a black SUV and opened the door. Esther took one shaky step forward, then another. Her heart pounded. Her body screamed for rest, but her soul pulled her forward. She had to talk to him. She had to tell him about the dream. But before she could reach him, the driver slammed the door shut, and the car sped away. Esther stood there frozen, watching it disappear down the road. Then she collapsed to the ground. The security guards rushed over, shouting, "Hey,
Hey,
wake up." They shook her shoulders roughly. One poured cold water on her face. She gasped and sat up, coughing. "Who is she?" one asked. "Some street girl," the other replied. "Probably high." "I'm not high," Esther said weakly. "I just haven't eaten in days." "Leave before we call the police," the older one warned. Esther stood slowly, legs trembling. But she didn't cry. Not this time. She looked one last time at the hospital doors. She wasn't ready to give up. That night, Esther climbed the steps of a half-built shopping plaza and curled up in a corner on the top floor. The wind was strong, and the stars looked so close it felt like she could touch them. She placed her hands over her heart. There was still something burning inside her. Something she couldn't explain. Something that told her this wasn't the end of her story. Something was coming. Something big. Lawrence Obi stood in front of the tall glass window in his penthouse suite. The city lights of Lagos sparkled below like stars scattered across the earth. From up here, he could see everything, but still feel nothing. Behind him, silence. The kind of silence that wasn't peaceful, but painful. His mother, Madame Gloria Obi, once the strongest woman he knew, now sat in a wheelchair in the center of the room. She stared blankly at the wall, her lips sealed, her hands folded on her lap. She had not spoken in 2 years, paralyzed after a mysterious stroke. No movement in her legs, no voice, no sign of emotion, just silence. Lawrence had tried everything. He flew doctors in from the UK, South Africa, even Germany. He paid for herbal treatments, spiritual healings, and experimental medicine. Nothing worked. His mother, once a respected teacher, powerful and full of laughter, was now like a shadow, present, but fading. He blamed himself. He had ignored the signs. She'd been stressed, overwhelmed, and overworked before the stroke. But he was too busy chasing success, building tech companies, buying properties, attending international summits, being praised as Nigeria's youngest billionaire. And now, all the money in the world couldn't fix the one person he truly cared about. Lawrence pushed his mother's wheelchair out of the elevator into the hospital hallway. This was their final appointment. Another top neurologist. Another high fee. Another slim chance. He wheeled her gently through the corridor, past nurses and patients. His mother's eyes moved, but her face showed no feeling. Lawrence looked down at her. "I miss you, Mama," he whispered. She blinked slowly, but said nothing. Suddenly, he noticed movement outside through the glass. A young woman. She was standing at the hospital gate, barefoot, dressed in torn clothes. Her eyes were sunken, and her hair wild, but her gaze was fixed on them, unmoving. Lawrence's eyes met hers for just a second, but something about her made his chest tighten. Before he could think more, a nurse called his name. Across the road, Esther's heart was pounding. That was him, the man from the dream. The same one she saw crying on his knees. The same one who would one day thank her. And the woman that was her. The one she healed in the vision. Her body shook with fear and hope. What if this was her chance? What if she was meant to help them? She stepped forward, ready to cross the road, but a fast car zoomed past, and a guard pushed her back. "Move back, beggar," the guard barked. She stumbled and fell to the ground, scraped her elbow, but she didn't cry. Her eyes never left them. And just before the man disappeared into the building, his mother turned and looked at Esther. A small movement.
Soft.
But real. Their eyes locked. Then the older woman's lips moved ever so slightly. No sound. Just a silent word. "Come." Inside the doctor's office, Lawrence sat impatiently. The specialist explained brain scans, nerve connections, and possible surgery, but it all felt like empty talk. He'd heard it all before. When the appointment ended, he wheeled his mother back out. But something felt off. He kept thinking about the girl outside. She had looked like a nobody, dirty, poor, desperate. But her eyes had burned with purpose. He tried to shake it off, but he couldn't. Later that evening, as Lawrence was about to step into his car outside the hospital, a stranger approached him. It was a scarred man in a faded shirt. He looked like a beggar, but his voice was strong. "Sir," he said, "I saw you earlier, and I saw your mother. She's waiting for something, or someone." Lawrence frowned. "Do I know you?"
No.
"But the girl you saw today, she's not ordinary." "What girl?" "The one at the gate." Lawrence looked surprised. "She's just a street girl." "No, sir," the man said firmly. "She's the answer you've been searching for." Before Lawrence could ask more, the man turned and disappeared into the crowd. That night, Lawrence couldn't sleep. He tossed and turned, thinking about the stranger, about the girl, about his mother's eyes, how they had sparkled for a split second when she looked at that girl. He got up and paced his room. Then he did something strange. He opened his laptop, found the CCTV footage from the hospital entrance, and zoomed in on the girl's face. There she was, standing in the rain, weak but unwavering. He paused the video on her eyes. Those weren't the eyes of a homeless beggar. They were the eyes of someone with a secret. Meanwhile, Esther was still at the plaza. She had no blanket, no food, only a burning feeling in her chest that refused to die. Something told her.
He saw you.
He felt it too. This is not over. She curled up in a corner, whispering a quiet prayer to the sky. "God, if I'm not crazy, if this gift is real, let him come back." The next morning, Esther woke up to the sound of car horns and shouting vendors. The city was alive again. She wasn't. Her bones ached from sleeping on the concrete. Her back was sore. Her head was hot. She hadn't eaten in 2 days. But her heart was still burning. That strange fire inside her hadn't gone out. The same voice she heard in her dreams still whispered softly, "Go back." By noon, Esther was back at the hospital gates. Same clothes, same dusty skin, same stares from people who thought she was mad or dangerous or both. She stood there quietly, looking through the glass like she was waiting for a miracle. But what no one knew was, she was the miracle. From the top floor of G Life Hospital, Lawrence watched her. He had told the staff not to chase her away. Not today. There was something about her presence that haunted him. Not like a ghost, but like a question his soul couldn't stop asking. Who is this girl? Why can't I stop thinking about her? Why did my mother react to her? He stared down at Esther.
Dirty. Thin.
Alone. But somehow powerful. Something about her didn't fit her appearance. She looked like a broken girl, but felt like a sign. Later that evening, Lawrence wheeled his mother out into the hospital garden, a place she used to love before the illness, filled with flowers, butterflies, and sunshine. Now, she just sat there, silent. As always, Lawrence sat beside her and whispered, "I don't know what to do anymore, Mama. I don't know if you're still in there." A nurse brought them juice and quietly walked away. Then, Esther appeared, slowly, quietly, from the edge of the garden. The guard stepped forward immediately. "Sir, she's back again. Should we remove her?" Lawrence hesitated, then shook his head.
No.
"Let her come." Esther walked barefoot on the grass. Her steps were small. Her eyes were wide. Her lips were trembling. She stopped just a few feet away from Lawrence and his mother. No one spoke. The wind blew gently. The air felt thick. Then Esther spoke. "I had a dream about your mother," Esther said, her voice soft but steady. She stood up from that wheelchair. She walked. She laughed. She was whole. Lawrence blinked. "You dreamt that?" Esther nodded. "I've seen it twice now. I don't know how. I don't know why. But I believe it's supposed to happen. I believe I'm meant to help." Lawrence stared at her. She looked weak. Her eyes were tired. Her voice shook. But the words she spoke, they felt like thunder in his chest. "She hasn't moved in 2 years," he whispered. "I know," Esther said. "She doesn't talk." "I know. And you think you can change that?" Esther didn't answer right away. Then she took a deep breath and said something that made everyone freeze. "I don't think I can. I know I can." Lawrence didn't know what made him allow it. Maybe it was the way Esther's voice sounded like truth. Maybe it was the fact that every doctor had failed, and now he had nothing to lose. Maybe it was something spiritual. Or maybe it was just faith. He nodded once. Esther stepped forward and knelt beside Madame Gloria's chair. Her hands were shaking as she reached out and gently placed her palm over the woman's hand. She closed her eyes and whispered, "I don't know why you chose me, but I'm here, and I believe. Let her rise. Let her speak. Let her be restored." The garden went completely silent. Even the wind stopped. Then, the woman's fingers twitched. One. Then the other. Her head slowly turned toward Esther. Lawrence gasped. Esther opened her eyes. Madame Gloria's mouth moved. A soft sound came out. Then louder. And clearer. "My son." Lawrence fell to his knees. His heart almost stopped. "Mama," he whispered, tears running down his face. She looked at him and smiled. "I missed you." Nurses screamed. Guards ran. A doctor came rushing out, pushing past people, shouting, "What's going on?" But Lawrence didn't hear them. He was hugging his mother, sobbing into her lap. Esther sat still. Tears streamed down her face too. But not because she was afraid. Not because she was tired. She cried because for the first time in her life, she wasn't a curse. She was a blessing. Hours later, Lawrence found her sitting quietly under a mango tree behind the hospital. She looked up as he walked toward her, this time without his mother's wheelchair. She was inside, walking around, drinking tea, and laughing with nurses like a brand new woman. He sat beside Esther. "I don't know who you are," he said, "but I know this. Today, you gave me my mother back." Esther smiled weakly. "It wasn't me. I just listened." Lawrence handed her something, an envelope. Inside was a check. She didn't look at the amount. "Why are you giving me this?" "Because I've never seen a miracle," he said, "until today." She hesitated. "I don't want your money." "Then what do you want?" She looked at him and said the simplest thing, "A place to sleep and someone to believe me." Esther stood in front of the gate, unable to move. It was tall, maybe 3 times her height, with silver bars and a golden emblem in the center that read, OBI Estate. The guards looked her up and down, clearly unsure what to do. She still wore the same torn dress. Her feet were dusty, her hair untamed, and yet she was expected. Lawrence's black SUV pulled up behind her. He stepped out, clean and sharp in his designer suit, sunglasses tucked into his shirt. "She's with me," he told the guards. "Open the gate." They hesitated. "She's not what she looks like." The gate opened slowly. Esther's breath caught in her throat. She was stepping into a world she never dreamed she'd even walk past. The mansion. The compound was massive. Green lawns stretched in every direction. Palm trees lined the drive. A large fountain sparkled in the center of the yard like something out of a movie. The mansion itself was like a palace. White walls, tall glass windows, marble steps, a chandelier visible from outside. Esther swallowed hard. "This can't be real," she whispered. Lawrence smiled gently. "It's real, and it's yours for now." She turned to him. "You don't even know me." "I know enough," he said. You healed my mother. You didn't ask for anything. That tells me more than any background check ever could. But no more buts, he said. Let me help you the way you helped me.
Inside.
As the giant doors opened, cool air rushed out. For the first time in weeks, Esther felt comfort on her skin. She stepped onto the shiny marble floor with bare feet, afraid to leave footprints. A maid appeared. Sir, should I prepare the guest room? No, Lawrence said. Prepare the royal suite. The maid's eyes widened. Esther's heart dropped. The royal suite? She turned to him, eyes wide. Lawrence, that's too much. But he just chuckled. You raised the dead today, Esther. A bedroom is the least I can do. The mirror. In the suite, she stood in front of a full-length mirror. For a long time, she just stared. Her skin was rough. Her lips cracked. Her hair tingled. But her eyes, there was something new there.
Strength. Purpose.
She touched the mirror. Who are you? She asked herself. The same girl who was once called a curse? The same girl who slept in corners and drank from dirty plastic bags?
Or
was she someone new now?
the bath.
The maid returned with fresh towels, shampoo, soap, and lotion. Ma, she said with a respectful bow, the water is hot and ready. Esther stepped into the bathroom and gasped. It was the size of her entire house growing up. Golden taps, marble tiles, scented candles, warm, clean water running from every corner. She bathed for a long time. She washed off the dirt. She washed off the shame. She washed off the old Esther. And when she stepped out, wrapped in a fluffy white robe, she felt like she could finally breathe. A table prepared. That night, a long table was set just for her. Grilled fish, fried rice, fresh fruit, cold water with lemon slices. Dishes she'd only ever seen on TV. Lawrence sat at the other end, watching her. Esther looked around. This feels like a dream, she whispered. Then don't wake up yet, he replied. She took a bite, then another, and another. Her body thanked her. Tears filled her eyes again. But these weren't tears of pain. They were tears of being seen, of finally being treated like she mattered. The question. After dinner, Lawrence walked her out to the balcony. The city lights twinkled in the distance. He looked at her and asked quietly, "Who are you, really?" Esther hesitated. "I don't know," she said truthfully. "All my life, I've been told I'm evil, that I bring trouble, that I'm not normal." He said nothing. But when I'm around people who are sick or hurting, she continued, something in me moves, like God is near. Lawrence studied her face. "And how long have you had this gift?" "Since I was a child." He shook his head in wonder. "Do you know what the media is calling you?" She laughed. "What?" "The girl who brought a dead woman back." Esther blinked.
Dead.
"She wasn't technically," he said, smiling. "But to the world, she might as well have been. You gave her back her life." Esther grew quiet. Lawrence turned serious. "Do you realize how powerful that is?" She looked down at her hands. "I didn't ask for it," she said. "I didn't want this. But maybe the world needs you to have it." The visitor. Late that night, as Esther lay in the softest bed she had ever touched, someone knocked on the door. It was Lawrence's mother, Madame Gloria, standing on her own, walking slowly, holding a wooden cane. Esther sat up quickly. "Mama," she cried. Madame Gloria smiled and walked over, sitting gently on the bed. "I remember everything," she said softly. "I was trapped inside my own body for years. But I heard voices. I felt light. And when you touched me, it was like chains broke off." Tears rolled down Esther's cheeks. "You saved me," Madame Gloria whispered. "But I think you were sent here to save many more." She took Esther's hand. "I want to help you.
Guide you.
Protect you." Esther couldn't speak. Her heart was too full. The media storm came quickly. Just 2 days after Madame Gloria Obi miraculously stood up and spoke for the first time in 2 years, news outlets, bloggers, radio stations, and YouTube channels exploded with the story. Billionaire's mother healed by street girl? Who was Esther? Prophetess or pretender? Real miracle or publicity stunt? Every headline had a question mark. And with every headline came doubt. Esther's face was now everywhere. Photos from hospital security footage, blurry clips of her outside the hospital gate, and even edited images of her laying hands on Madame Gloria were being shared across the internet. Some praised her. Some called her an angel. But others? They weren't so kind. She's a scam. This is all staged. How can someone dressed like a beggar perform miracles? She's probably working with fake prophets. Esther tried not to look, but one night, she saw a post on a gossip blog that made her freeze. Esther, the girl who was chased from her house for witchcraft, now a national hero? Underneath were photos from her old neighborhood, pictures of her parents, her brother, her old church, and the comments? Full of venom. Her aunt appeared on a live radio interview. "She's not who you think she is," she told the host. "We chased her from the house because she was seeing things, talking to herself. One time she told me I would fall sick, and the next day I did. Tell me that's normal." Then her brother joined another podcast. "She's just pretending. That girl used to cry herself to sleep. She's not holy. She's not gifted. She's dangerous." Esther sat on the edge of her bed, shaking. Everything she had run from was now chasing her again. Lawrence watched the interviews quietly. He didn't speak much, didn't smile like before, didn't visit her room or take long walks with her on the balcony anymore. Esther noticed. The house felt colder. One evening, during dinner, she finally asked him, "Do you believe them?" He looked up, surprised. "Who?" "My family, the media, the people online." He didn't answer right away. Then he said something she didn't expect. "I believe in what I saw." But
He sighed.
belief is easy when there are no consequences. But now people are questioning my company, my mother, my name. Esther's heart cracked a little. "So you think helping me is a mistake?" "I think I need to protect my legacy." She stood up from the table. Tears filled her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. "I didn't ask for this," she said quietly. "I didn't chase the cameras. I didn't heal your mother for fame." "I know." "Then why are you treating me like the problem?" He didn't answer. And that silence said everything. Later that night, Esther passed two staff members whispering in the hallway. One of them said, "They say she uses charms." The other replied, "She looks like someone from the village. She can't be clean." They didn't know she was listening. She didn't stop walking, but her hands balled into fists, her mind filled with noise. Maybe I should have stayed in the street. Maybe I'm not meant to be in places like this. Maybe they're all right about me. The next morning, Madame Gloria found Esther by the fountain. She sat beside her with a shawl around her shoulders, her voice gentle but firm. "I've seen this before," she said. "People love miracles until they threaten their logic. You didn't do anything wrong, Esther." Esther kept her eyes on the water. "But now everyone's turning on me." "Not everyone. Lawrence doesn't even look at me the same." Madame Gloria nodded slowly. "He's afraid. That's all. But fear never lasts." Esther finally looked up. "What if I made things worse for him?" Madame Gloria smiled. "Then it's time to remind him who saved me." Later that day, a group of men in suits arrived at the mansion. They introduced themselves as representatives of a global Christian network. "We want to sponsor Esther," the lead man said. "Put her on our program. Give her a platform." Lawrence was cautious. Esther was overwhelmed, but Madame Gloria stepped forward. "She is not for sale," she said. "She's not a prophet for hire. She's not a product." The men looked embarrassed and left quickly. Lawrence watched his mother, strong again, wise, in control, and finally remembered who made that possible. Esther. That night, Lawrence knocked on her door. Esther opened slowly. "I've been unfair," he said.
She didn't speak.
He stepped inside. "I let people's voices drown out what I knew in my heart. You healed my mother. That's real. I've just been afraid." Esther's voice cracked. "So was I. I didn't even want this gift. I wanted a family, a normal life. but I didn't get it. I want to protect you, Esther, he said gently, but I'm still learning how. They sat in silence for a while. Then he reached across and touched her hand. I believe you, he whispered. This time, she didn't pull away. The sun was barely up when the knock came. Firm, repeated, reluctant. Esther was still in bed, wrapped in silk sheets, her face lit by soft golden light from the wide balcony windows. She had finally begun to sleep peacefully again, until that knock. A soft voice outside her door broke the silence. Miss Esther, there are people asking to see you. They say they're your family. Esther sat up slowly. Her heart dropped. Her hands trembled. For a moment, she forgot where she was, her mind thrown back to the cold streets, to the yelling voices, to the Bible held in one hand and the belt in the other.
Her chest tightened.
Did they say what they wanted? They're crying, Ma, and they won't leave. Esther stood at the edge of the wide front steps, hidden slightly behind the flowers.
She saw them.
Her mother, her father, her older brother, her aunt. They looked different. Her father's shirt was stained. Her mother's wrapper was torn. Her brother, once proud and loud, now stood still with his head bowed. Auntie's makeup was smudged. Her hands shook. They looked nothing like the same people who had chased her out that rainy night. And they didn't even know she was watching. Lawrence joined her, hands in his pockets. Want me to send them away? Esther didn't answer right away. Part of her wanted to. The old pain rushed back all at once. The shouts, the names, the loneliness, the cold. But something deeper in her heart whispered, this is the moment. Let them see who you really are. Let them in, she said quietly. The family stepped into the grand compound, their shoes scraping against smooth white marble. When they saw her standing at the top of the steps in a flowing cream dress, clean and glowing, they froze. Her mother gasped. Her father dropped to his knees. Auntie covered her mouth. Her brother stared like he'd seen a ghost. Mama, Papa, Esther said softly. Silence. Then her father crawled forward, still on his knees, tears rolling down his cheeks. Esther, we were wrong. Her mother collapsed beside him, weeping. We didn't know. We didn't understand. Please forgive us. Auntie stepped forward. We thought you were possessed. We didn't see that you were chosen. Oh God, have mercy. Esther's eyes welled up, but she didn't cry. I begged you, she whispered. I tried to tell you. I warned you that night. You didn't even give me shoes. Her brother spoke next. You were always different. I hated it. I was jealous. I thought you were making things up. He dropped to his knees too. Please, Esther, don't let our shame be our end. Lawrence stood beside her silently, watching the scene unfold. Esther looked at each of them, her eyes full of quiet power. She could have shouted. She could have cursed them. She could have turned and walked away. But instead, she stepped forward. Stand up, she said softly. All of you. They hesitated. I'm not here to punish you. I've already suffered enough. But I need you to understand something. They listened. I am not who you said I was. I never was. I'm not possessed. I'm not cursed. I'm not a mistake. She pointed to her heart. I was made for something greater, and your rejection pushed me into my purpose. Her mother sobbed harder. We are sorry. We were blind. Esther reached out and helped her up. I forgive you, she said. Later that afternoon, she invited them in, fed them, clothed them, listened to their stories. Her father had lost his job. Her mother had fallen ill. Her aunt had become a street-side trader. Even her brother had been arrested once. They told her that ever since she left, the house had fallen into sadness. We thought casting you out would bring peace, her father said. But everything turned dark the moment you were gone. I wasn't the problem, she said. I know, he replied. I know now. That night, alone on the balcony, Lawrence walked up beside her again. You handled them better than I could have, he said with a smile. I didn't do it for them, Esther said. I did it for me. I needed to close that chapter. On my own terms. He nodded slowly. You're not the girl I found on the street anymore. Esther turned to him.
No.
I'm not. He took her hand gently. I've seen people chase power, money, and status. But I've never seen anyone chase peace the way you do. She looked up at him. I spent too long in pain. I don't want to live there anymore. They stood silently for a moment. Then Lawrence asked the question he'd been holding back. What if you weren't just sent here to heal my mother? What if you were sent here to heal me too? The ballroom was glowing. Hundreds of lights sparkled from the chandelier above. A soft melody floated through the air. Cameras clicked. People whispered. It wasn't just a party. It was a celebration of purpose. On the stage stood Esther, dressed in royal gold, her hair braided into a crown, her face calm and glowing. But it wasn't just the dress that made her radiant. It was her story. And tonight, the world came to listen. 2 weeks earlier, a global humanitarian organization had reached out. They'd seen the footage, heard the testimony, witnessed the miracle, and they wanted to honor her as a light in the darkness, an award reserved for people who changed lives against all odds. Esther didn't want attention, but Madame Gloria encouraged her. Sometimes God lifts you not for yourself, but for others watching in the dark, so they'll believe light is possible. Lawrence had smiled and added, "Besides, you deserve this moment." So she said yes. Now, standing before a crowd of business moguls, spiritual leaders, journalists, and even politicians, Esther took the mic. Her eyes scanned the crowd and found the faces that once turned away from her, now leaning forward. She spoke softly, but every word carried fire. I was called a curse. I was thrown out of my home. I slept in gutters and corners. I begged for food. I begged to be seen. But what the world called a problem, God called a purpose.
Gasps. Tears.
Total silence. They said I was possessed, but it was a gift wrapped in pain, a calling shaped through rejection. I wasn't meant to be accepted. I was meant to rise anyway. The room burst into applause. But she wasn't finished. To the broken girls sleeping on concrete tonight, to the ones called worthless, to the ones mocked for being different, you are not forgotten. You are not crazy.
And you are not alone.
Your fire will not burn you. It will crown you. The crowd stood, cheering,
Crying. Clapping.
and Lawrence? He couldn't take his eyes off her. Later that night, after the guests had left and the lights dimmed, Esther stood on the rooftop garden in her bare feet, looking up at the stars. Lawrence joined her. "You changed the room," he said. "No," she whispered. "God changed me. I just brought the ashes." He smiled, then pulled something from his pocket. A small, simple ring. Gold.
Pure.
No diamonds. No flash. Just real. Like her. "I don't know where this journey is taking you next," he said, voice low. "But I want to walk it with you." Esther's eyes widened. "Not because you healed my mother. Not because the world knows your name. But because you showed me how to believe again." A long silence passed between them. Then Esther took his hand. "You were part of the fire too," she said. "But you didn't burn me. You covered me." He laughed softly. "So, is that a yes?" She smiled. "It's a beginning." 1 year later, Esther opened a healing center in the heart of Lagos, the Light Room. Not a church, not a hospital, a home. For anyone broken, anyone doubted, anyone abandoned for being too different. Her family visited every week. Her mother brought food. Her father helped build furniture. Her brother played with the street kids outside. And Lawrence? He was always beside her. Still in love, still in awe. And when people asked, "How did she get here?" Esther would simply say, "They tried to bury me, but they didn't know I was a seed."
Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories. Click the video on your screen to keep watching. Another great video story is waiting for you.